Now we're talking more than free hot dogs for everybody. There's salt in the seats. They're scraping the seats. That's how cold it is. Stacey Dales, hope you're staying warm.
Yeah, he's not taking his shirt off in this. It's like a 2-degree wind chill, Rich. His quarterback, Caleb Williams, may have the lowest completion percentage at 58 in the NFL, but they love his progress. Ben Johnson saying the passing offense has to be better, but he's managing this thing. Offensive coordinator Declan Doyle told me everybody on the offense has a hand in that completion percentage. The players love his presence. Running back Kyle Monangai telling me Caleb shows up when the moments are big and he's needed most. They've all put their trust in him. I spoke with Packers safety Evan Williams, who saw Caleb, by the way, in college, who told me he is simply the whole package. He's one of these guys, you don't want him to figure it all out, because when he does, it could get scary. Evan said, of course, they will be prepared to play extended periods defensively, given his escapability. Williams telling me he's going to find a way to break the pocket. He always does, Rich.
Thank you, Stacey. Well, coming into the season, Ben Johnson gave Caleb a goal to complete 70% of his passes. He's got a long way to go for that. Out of all of the great things he has been developing, an accurate passing game is not one of them yet. 58.1%, the lowest in the league.
Everybody's got a role to play to get this pass game cleaned up. It's not where it needs to be. We're winning in spite of our passing game, not because of it, and none of us are pleased with that right now.
In spite of our passing game. All right, it's quite a statement over there. So I know he wants to make them better. He is making them better, right?
Yeah.
But how do they clean up this passing game, Kurt?
Here's the thing. I don't fully buy into the fact that they're not winning because of their passing game. Their passing game just isn't efficient enough yet. They're making a lot of big plays. This guy right here is making a lot of explosive plays, and this is where you see the growth. Great job holding the safety on the backside. He's going to find the window. Linebackers flat-footed. Boom. I mean, these are some big-time throws that we're going to see. I love this right here. Little movement by the back. We're going to read this linebacker here. I get just a little bit of movement. Like, this is the kind of stuff you want to see. Quick movement, bang. Ball is there, and so we're seeing the big plays. Now it's about the efficiency. Creating these opportunities. Ben Johnson's doing a great job. Play action pass. I mean, it doesn't get any more wide open than this, coach. These are the throws that he just has to make. And there's too many missed opportunities, what I call layups, and it can be throws or it can be reads. Number one read right here is the choice route. For some reason, eyes are off a little bit. He's a little bit late getting back there. It becomes a throwaway. So he's got to make more of the layups, and that's why the completion percentage is at 58. But he is adding something to this team and to this passing game with those big plays that he's making, and that's a part of why they are winning.
It is. First year with this new offense, with Ben Johnson's offense. And you know what? They're winning, right? Back up a year, he was in a different system. In college, he was not under center, like but a handful of times at OU and SC. Now he's playing half the game under center. That's a big deal, all right? So it's like, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? You practice, practice, practice. Same thing. He's going to get better as he's in this offense, much more under center with movements and keeps and play action passes. He will get better.
And I love what you're saying, because comfort level, if you just hesitate a little bit in this league, you miss. And that to me is what you see a little bit, is I'm getting more comfortable. I'm not quite sure. Oh, now I'm a little bit late. Now I miss a throw. That's the stuff that you want to see come along either the rest of this season or in the future with Ben.
They got a future that's very bright with this good team, and that kid's improving like crazy. Let's send it out to Baltimore now, and Steve Weish.
Well, Mooch, after last week's loss to the Buffalo Bills, Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers said him and his receivers have got to get on the same page, carry what happens in the film room, and to running proper routes and understanding the proper line checks. Well, I spoke to tight end Darnell Washington about that, and he said they have really been laying into fine-tuning what they have to do. And according to Washington, he said, as receivers, it's about hearing the whole call, knowing what the checks and signals are, whether they are verbal and non-verbal, and they're really stressing the importance of that, knowing that they're in Baltimore this week and there's going to be crowd noise. Washington also said everybody's working to fine-tune everything because they know who they're playing, and it's their bitterest of rivals.
Offense of late has not been lighting any fires either. Lamar Jackson enters today's game against Pittsburgh on a 3-game stretch for the first time in his career with 0 touchdowns. And as you can see on the screen here, unfortunately for him, the Steelers have been anything but a get-right opponent in his career. So Gerald McCoy, due his recent struggles at quarterback in this passing game, continue today against T.J. Watt and the Steelers?
You know what, Rich? I'm going to say yes. And the unfortunate part about this question is we've seen Lamar Jackson in MVP seasons. Even last year, a lot of people believe he could have won the MVP. He still struggled in these games. Well, now he's actually struggling in all the other games. So coming into this game, I don't see it getting much better. Lamar struggles with making passes outside the numbers. And with Jalen Ramsey moving to safety, they're going to pack the middle of the field, and Jalen Ramsey's going to understand that. They're going to force him to push the ball outside the numbers. And even though he struggled in this game, his arch nemesis, T.J. Watt, has dominated these games. So I'm going to say, yes, the struggles continue. That doesn't mean they're not going to win, but I think Lamar still struggles.
And the next opponent for Baltimore is Cincinnati and Joe Burrow's first home.
Time for Making a Call with Walt Anderson. We always dial up Walt when we have questions on rules or what happened in the game. And on Thursday night with the Cowboys and the Lions, we absolutely had some questions because early in the game, in the first quarter, it appeared that Jack Campbell sacked Dak Prescott in the end zone, which would have been a safety. We all thought it was a safety, but lo and behold, it was not. The call was reversed because all scoring plays are reviewed. But can you take us through the mechanics of that and why the Lions didn't end up with 2 points in possession of the ball, and instead it was the Cowboys punting from the 1?
Sure, Colleen, and it really is a good play to illustrate how the NFL is a game of inches, because whenever Dak Prescott dropped back in the pocket to look at boundary cameras and this reverse TV camera right on the goal line, you can see here that the ball is about 2 inches outside of the goal line when the defensive player first contacts Dak, and that's why the ball has to be spotted at that spot. Had the ball been touching the goal line, it would have been a safety, but he was outside of the goal line by just inches.
Okay, I thought it was a safety, so I went and the commercial break, I went and got a bologna sandwich, and then I came back, and then they showed that line, you know, on the goal line, and yeah, it was obvious that it was not a safety, okay, because of that camera angle. We put cameras on goal lines all in every stadium. Why did it take so long to get to that view for the people and for the officials to make the call, Walt?
Well, Coach, you know, good question. And there's so many angles, especially in games like this. You've got a lot of cameras, so you got to look at those angles. And really, the league has these boundaries.
Monday night, Denver and Washington, Walt, okay? Intentional grounding. Marcus Mariota goes back there. He's in the pocket. He slings it over Terry McLaurin's head, out of bounds, gets a laundry on the field. Take us through that, because I don't think that should have been a penalty, Walt.
You're right, Coach. It wasn't intentional grounding. There's a lot of different aspects to intentional grounding. So you got to determine first, was a quarterback in or out of the pocket? Where did he throw the football? Did he get it past the line of scrimmage? All of those factors have to come into play. And some of them we can help with replay, but some of them will not. So you can see the underlay, which is defining the pocket. The quarterback, he does not quite get out of the pocket, so he's now got to throw the ball in the direction of a receiver, which it does. It goes right over number 17, McLaurin's head. But unfortunately, the officials did not feel that the player was outside the number. That's not something that replay can help with. We can help with in or out of the pocket, but we can't help with the position of a player relative to being inside or outside the numbers. And that's the part of the rule that's critical that would have been able for replay to be able to make that not a foul.
Okay, let's hope Replay Assist will add that next year to get it corrected. Huh?
Busy offseason.
Coach, as you well know, and we've talked about this in a lot of areas, every year we've been at a few, and ownership has approved us adding some areas that replay can help. And like we've talked about with some of the others, hopefully this will be another one of those that we can add for the 26th season.
All right, let's add.
Hey, fingers crossed. Thank you very much, Walt, our rules titan.